Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Kaguya-Sama Love is War Ultra Romantic. Last time around, Kei Shirogane wants to show off. Basically, Shirogane, I know that's not specific in this situation, but President Miyuki was going to head over to Kei's culture festival at her middle school to see what all they're doing, get some inspiration. And she was like, oh god, no, because you dress like an idiot. And then Dad came in. He was also dressed like an idiot. And then, then she went and bought them clothes. Next we had About Kaguya Shinomiya Part 2, where basically Kaguya has now admitted that she has her feelings for Miyuki Shirogane, and she must do something about it. And that also leads us into Kaguya wants to confess, where, she's ready to confess. The culture festival begins now, and, it's time, basically. It's time to do this. It's time to break our hands, so, yeah, that's pretty much where we left off. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure, so let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Kaguya-Sama Love is War Ultra Romantic. Let's get going. Oh my gosh, I can't deal with this man. I just want it to work. I want to get to the end of this and it works. I don't want it to be a thing of, because we might get one with Kaguya and Shirogane, that we won't get Ishigami and Happy Girl. Tsubame? Was that her name? I think it was Tsubame. I call her Happy Girl just in case. Just let it be both. Let it be both. Please. Please! God, my chest hurts right now. Oh my gosh. Now I'm friggin' nervous. Working up the courage to ask out your crush. That's rough. That's rough. I know it. It's rough. You know the thing? This sounds horrible. I don't like remembering being in middle school and high school. Granted, I don't know how many people actually do. But, I don't know. I have this thing, okay? I've got this thing where, anytime someone, brings up something kind of, embarrassing, and not really embarrassing in a bad way, just it's kind of embarrassing thing about me when I was younger, I don't really know how to, respond to it. And this mostly happens, with my parents, so it doesn't matter. But, they'll bring up something like, oh, yeah, you did this when you were a kid, haha, and I just kind of sit there, I'm like, oh, okay. Because, I either don't remember it, because my memory is a little faulty, namely of my childhood. It's a little faulty. And I say a little faulty. Honestly, I probably remember more than I let on, I probably remember more of my childhood and stuff than I realize, but I guess it's just what latches into what do I actually remember. But anyway, so it's either something like that, or it is something I remember. I'm like, yep, that sure was, and I'll remember, I'll remember stuff from middle school, 6th grade, something I did, and I'm just like, okay. And no, generally it's, at 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm trying to go to sleep, and suddenly memories of being in high school or middle school just come back into my head, and I'm like, great, thanks, me. Trying to sleep, dude. I'm trying to friggin' sleep. So, but that's the thing. It's I don't know how to respond to stuff like that, So it's I can't But that's really just it. It's like if there's ever a thing where it's like, oh yeah, I did this when I was young. It's like, oh yeah, you did this when you were young. And I'm just like, okay. I literally just don't know how to respond to it. So, but I remember some stuff. I remember stuff that's kind of embarrassing and I remember being stupid too. I remember being stupid, which is also embarrassing, but that's like the extra level of embarrassing. But here's the thing. I'm 27. I'm 27 now. I haven't been in high school for 10 years. You know? I haven't been in high school for 10 years. And college wasn't really embarrassing, mainly because I just didn't know anybody. I just never really made any connections in college. I don't know, I just went through. I kind of got a little antisocial in the past decade. So, hence kind of why I made the YouTube channel, I guess. I don't know. It's like, oh, it's easier, I don't have to talk to a person. I'm talking to a camera, and then occasionally text appears on my computer screen that I guess are people. I guess you guys are people, but I don't really think about it, I don't know, man. But it's just a thing of like, I still remember some of the emotions of those things, and I still can somehow feel some of the secondhand embarrassment. And maybe it's just because I haven't really dealt with those things. But I'm trying to deal with those things where I'm trying to, like, when I remember, like, oh, I did this embarrassing thing in 6th grade. It wasn't even like a big thing, but it's just something that was kind of embarrassing that I think about, and I'm just like, okay, but that was 6th grade. That was, 16 years ago? That was about 16 years ago. So, did we talk about this last time or maybe it was the episode before? I think it was on this show where we talked about the adjustment. And so that's like part of it now is like I think about these things. I'm like, man, that was an embarrassing thing that I did or whatever or said in high school. And now my thought is just, fuck it. None of this matters. We're talking about Ishigami getting up the nerves. But I mean, I get it. I get it. So nervous. But he did it. He at least got her. He at least convinced her to go to the haunted house. So I hope he can do it because I want that. I mean, I know I shipped him and Miko earlier because, it's just because it's like, oh, they get on each other's nerves. Like, they hate each other and yell at each other so much that it's like, I just expect to, cut to them just banging hard, just bang all that anger out, So, I don't know. But, like, I really hope that it works out for him, And we had an interesting thing, basically. It's, whoever develops feelings first becomes the loser, which means Shirogane has already lost. Because he developed feelings first. What an interesting thing. And now we understand why he became, the young man he is today. Is literally all for her, is literally all for her. I like the ex-prez, the former president. Like, he was pretty cool. Again, he does kind of remind me of Master Kaguya from Demon Slayer. Maybe it's just the hair. It's like, but it's just, he's a really nice guy. And honestly, from the look of him, he looks like he'd be an asshole. But he's not. He is a good guy, He's a good guy, and I like how, Shirogane is like, oh, how, who would be the person to stand next to her? And he says, well, what about me? I'm the student council president, aren't I? It's like, that's, and that's not even a thing of like, oh, look at me, I'm so great. But more of a, I don't think he was literally implying like, oh, I'm so great, I could stand next to her after she did this heroic thing. Like, I think he genuinely was kind of setting that up for Shirogane. Like, hey, who's worthy of her? Perhaps the student council president, because the student council president is one of the top students at Shuchin Academy, you know? Someone who has proved themselves over all the people with daddy's credit card, you know? So, like, I don't think it was him just sort of hyping himself up, but more of a, hey, maybe you could, like, he sees the potential. He saw the potential in Shirogane, you know? So that was good. And I like, too, because it's like, you know, you see Kaguya after she saves the girl, and is like, oh, well, you know, most likely we could use that in the future. We could use that to our advantage and have an alliance, basically, in the future. And it's like, okay. So, you know, she technically didn't do it just to be a hero, you know, to genuinely try to save her. But that also shows, you know, it's still a good starting point from which Kaguya was able to grow into the incredible young woman we have today. You know, it's like both of those moments, you know, which you could see as both upsides and downsides to both of them, it shows a solid starting point of which the two of them have grown. So that's some good stuff. And then cosplay. I love that Hayasaka Hayasaka's wearing something completely different in her maid outfit. And it's just like, yeah, but to Kaguya, that's normal, you know? To Kaguya, that's normal, but... so that was funny. And then I like the freaking middle-aged guys. It's like, this dude is not just obsessed with ramen. He's just obsessed with fine dining, basically. Fine culinary arts, I guess. I don't know. Is that the right word? Maybe. So yeah, and that was interesting. You know, he immediately sees that Kaguya won't be able to pour the coffee correctly, and you know, and Hayasaka. I love Hayasaka because it's a thing of like, oh, is she really gonna throw Shinomiya under the bus? Yes, because she's finally being praised by someone. You know, other than our weeb asses watching the show. You know, she can't hear us; she can hear him. So she finally gets that praise, which is good. But Kaguya, at the very least, she has some talent for this and was able to make the tea. So, and then I like too, because it's the classic, you know, Kaguya's cool and confident, and then someone says something about love, and she's just a blushing mess, and she's like freaking out. Her voice goes up like 3 octaves. So that was classic. And then, you know, and Shirogane is just kind of standing there. He's just like, well, something's happening over there. I don't know what the hell's going on. And then he's like, those guys okay? And she's like, yes, it's nothing you need to concern yourself with. Here you go. So that was funny. I also like that the other guy was not as serious as him. Like, he's just like, you know, just like, oh, I am exceptionally good at, you know, pouring this specific tea. And just like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's good. But nobody's holding that against you. No. I will order the tea and test you. Oh, yeah, it's like his buddy is honestly like kind of chill. So I like that. But yeah, that is part one. Part one of the final ish arc. I don't know. We got eight episodes left. I might have said 8 episodes last episode, but then I realized, oh, there's 13 episodes this season. So yeah, but even still, we're in the final arc. This is about the point in the season like when Mob Psycho would have an arc. So yeah. So we're going through, and hopefully, please, I just want them both. I want them both. Kaguya and Shirogane, I want that to happen. And then Ishigami and Happy Girl, I want that to happen. I mean, come on, like, they're sort of like they're really perfect for each other. Like, she's energetic and cheerful and happy. He's like a piece of wood. It works. You know? I remember I saw there was a tweet, and it was showing a screenshot from Tears of the Kingdom, and it was like Zelda at the beginning, and she's all like happy explaining everything, and Link's just standing there because he doesn't talk, and it was like every yapping girl needs to find a quiet boy who will listen to them. It's like that feels like the dynamic between Tsubame. I'm pretty sure it's Tsubame and Ishigami. So hopefully, just do it. He's a better catch than those dweebs that are there. I don't know. But yeah, that is pretty much it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Kaguya-Sama reactions, as well as another thing you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.